Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the church. It's a gorgeous Sunday morning, and those of you online as well. We're going to start our service right now by singing our opening chant, God is all there is. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. God is all there is. God is all there is. I am one with God. God is all there is. Joy is all there is. Joy is all there is. I am one with joy, God. Joy is all there is. Love is all there is. Love is all there is. I am one with love. Love is all there is. And God is all there is.
All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am Dr. Steen, and I am the community spiritual leader here. And indeed, with that spiritual reality, the spiritual knowing, the true light within us, love is all there is, God is all there is, joy is all there is. So the creator of this teaching, Science of Mind, religious science, was Ernest Holmes, and he wrote this: "Our divine nature never deserts us. Like the prodigal son, we may wander in far countries of despair, but the divinity within us ever gently urges us back to the center of our true being. It ever reminds us of its presence. If we permit it, the spiritual self will direct our every decision with intelligence and make perfect the way before us." So I stand here in full recognition of that divine nature within you, knowing that there is absolutely something radically right about each and every one of you, about each and every one of us, that we are here, we come together in a celebration of that. So wherever you are on your spiritual path, wherever you are on the gender spectrum, the cultural spectrum, the age spectrum, yes, and the political spectrum, wherever you are, we honor your presence here. We are glad that you are with us. And we know you as God knows you, divine. You are divine, beautiful creations of spirit. We are a social media friendly space, so while we will ask you to silence your cell phones, I also want to invite you to check in, to share, take pictures if you want, use the hashtag NHCRS or hashtag NHCRS Spiritual Community. I'm glad you're here. Have a great service.
Thank you, Dr. Sidney. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. My name is Mark Crowell. I'm a practitioner here at the North Hollywood Church of Religious Science, and I'm so happy to be here. Welcome to Sunday. If you are one of our live streamers, as Dr. Sidney said, please go ahead and let us know where you're streaming from. We want to know our reach throughout the world. It is wonderful. If you are here in the sanctuary, as Dr. Sidney said, please silence your cell phones, and also please do not use these doors here at the front during the service so that we can have our time be uninterrupted. So thank you in advance for that. So now let's join together in prayer. Go ahead and turn within, close your eyes, and just take in that deep, loving, spirit-filled breath, that breath of life, that breath of God, source, spirit, love, light, goodness, wholeness, prosperity, creativity, joy, beauty, peace, and grace. These God qualities, these are the truth of who and what we are. These are the truth of the universe. And I know each person here is an actual embodiment of an individualized expression of God, with all of those God qualities showing up individually and personalized, exactly according to who and what you are. It is so good. And I know our time together this morning is absolutely blessed, that we as a community rise up. We are lifted up in love and goodness and wholeness, in prosperity, in wisdom, in goodness, in kindness as a result of coming together. It is so wonderful. It is so marvelous. And I give great thanks for everyone that is responsible for helping bring this experience to all of us. Our musicians in the beautiful musical ministry, all of our volunteers, our ushers, our digital ministry team, which allows us to broadcast this service and to record it so that we can enjoy it later. And especially to Dr. Sydney. She is that channel who delivers that message that resonates, that touches our hearts, our minds, exactly as we need them touched. It is so good. And I'm so grateful for this community coming together as we co-create our future together under the leadership of Dr. Steen. It is so great, it is so good. And so with a heart full of joy and gratitude, I release my word into the law of mind, knowing it is done. And so together we say, Amen.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still.
Please rise and join me in saying the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power and the glory forever. Amen.
Please remain standing for our congregational song, Joy and Peace in My Heart. Joy and peace in my heart, always I feel. Joy and peace in my mind, God within revealed. Joy and peace in my life, I am I am one with God. I know the truth. I am one with creation and one with you. There is no separation between all that is. I am one. Joy and peace in my heart. Always I feel joy and peace in my mind. God within revealed. Joy and peace in my life. Spirit dwells within me, guides all I do. It infuses my life with the light I am due. I am rich with the abundance of all that is good. All is good. Joy and peace in my heart. Always I feel joy and peace in my mind. God within revealed. Joy and peace in my life.
Time to say hello.
Time to say hello, everybody.
Feel free to move about the sanctuary. Offer
Again,
some love.
feel free to offer a namaste, a hug. All right. Oh, blessed, blessed, wonderful. And now we get to do something even better. Meditate. This is our time to commune with the Spirit, with Source, and it is just so good. So I invite everybody to sort of settle back in and to turn within and close your eyes. And for the next 5 minutes, just repeat that mantra, God is the love that I am. And if your mind wanders, which it will, just very lovingly and very gently bring it back with that mantra, God is the love that I am. And I'll bring us back in 5 minutes.
Moment of silence between each drop of rain holds all the stillness of a beautiful refrain. Pause with each breath. Brings new inspiration. A ember that starts a flaming out on the fire of creation. Sisters and brothers, side by side across this land. Walking together, step by step, hand in hand. The wonders we are, endless variations. The ember that starts a flaming out on the fire of creation. Your sound, on this long journey home, bring destinies into the unknown. Let's be on our way right now, without hesitation. We'll make a new start, flaming out of creation. Make a new start, flaming out of creation. Yeah, make a new start, flaming out of
Am I on? Now, aren't you glad that you got out of bed and got here today? Yeah, me too. Okay, fire of creation. I love it when Gia sings because it means I get to change my whole talk. That fire of creation is where we are right now. We could either be in that, we can look at where we are in life, in this world, in this country, on this planet as a cauldron of creation, or is it the muck and mire of consumption? And are we falling into a habit of joining in with others who simply have an idea that you need to consume this opinion, you need to join in with this fear, with this struggle, with the challenges, and to not know that this is actually a point of creation, that these are evolutionary triggers that we are in the midst of. And I know it feels sometimes like we're in a whole bunch of them, but that's what life is. And that's why we talk so much about spiritual practice and getting grounded and getting extremely aware of who we are as divine beings, so that when life happens, which it will, it's not supposed to be just a smooth, boring journey. That's not fun. But it is so that we can begin to know that we are God through all of it. You know, in the Old Testament, everything in there, every story in the Bible is about breaking through the human seduction of fear, the earthly habits of fear, the earthly pattern of thinking into a greater awareness of divinity, of spiritual identity. Every single story in there. So lots of different stories, because we all have our different versions of how we do that. So you're going to see it over and over and over and over. And so what we want to do is to recognize those places where we might have fallen into that habit of hive mind fear. And it's very easy to do. So my talk today is all about the idea of spiritual math. Now we're going back to school. We're going to look at some of the basic tenets of this teaching, of New Thought, of why this is such an empowering, I believe, teaching. And the idea around this is that it's not like any school I ever went to, because what we're talking about is 1 + 1 = 1, the one. So 1 meaning you, meaning me, with that one fundamental truth of who we are, brings us into the expression and the fullness of life of knowing that we are immersed in, surrounded by, saturated in the wholeness of God. And I want to suggest that now is a good time to begin practicing that. Because if we don't practice it, that's when we get taken out by stuff that goes on in the world. And boy, is that easy to do. There's a lot going on in the world. So now, the foundational idea of this teaching is oneness. Oneness. Now, I'm not going to be going into the fluffy kumbaya kind of oneness. I mean, that's a talk in itself, but we're going to go beyond that so that we can have some foundational, an infrastructure within ourselves, spiritual infrastructure. Kumbaya makes us feel better for a few moments. I want us to have tools that allow us to stay strong and clear about our connection with God beyond those few moments. I want us to be anchored so we can each start growing really deep roots, because when we have deep roots, we get to grow higher. As the verse says, look to the mountains from whence my help comes. So the deeper the roots, the higher we can go. And it is that symbol of heavenly thinking, rising above the earthly constructs, the earthly ego habits, so that we can move into that place of deep knowing that right where we are, Spirit is, God is, love is. And truly, at that level of light, all is well. So, let's talk about spiritual math. Ernest Holmes was really smart. When he began putting this teaching together, he knew that the world needed a vision of life so promising and so possible that people who heard about the teaching would feel like they had caught on fire with Spirit's vitality, that wonderful fire, but also wanting to go beyond just the idea of personal growth, personal transformation, because what we need to know is that we can participate in global transformation. And we also need to know that we don't have to wait till we have been transformed in order to affect the world around us and to bless the people around us. We get to start that process now. And because of this idea of one mind, one power, one presence that envelops, surrounds, and flows through each of us, as we get stronger in our knowing of our divine connection, our divine identity, then the people around us get to rise up as well. So he knew that this teaching is about so much more than just the individual life and well-being of an individual person. He also knew that in order for these transcendent ideas to be valid and universal, we did need to start with the individual, but the ideas needed to be great enough and strong enough that we could, as individuals, take these ideas into the world and live from there. So in other words, this isn't just a heal my life, bring me a better car, I want a better job, I wish I had more money in my bank account, oh, and a house by the beach would be nice. It's not just that. I mean, that's fine, but those are the things. And in many ways, they distract us from really, really seeking that deep truth, that light, that peace. And, you know, God doesn't have an opinion about that. That's really not what that presence is about. But that we can know that we are here for love. We are here for wholeness. We're not here to limp through and survive. We are here to thrive, and that all of us get to do that. So we want to do more than cope. We want to be able to thrive at a high level that shines the light for ourselves, that shines the light on a planet that is really calling for light. You might have noticed. So here's the first part of this spiritual math equation. Next slide, please. Ernest Holmes wrote, "What do we teach? It's very simple. God is all there is. There isn't anything else. There never was. There never will be." Wow. God is all there is. When you and I begin to realize, to recognize and unify with that idea, it's a fundamental idea that God is all there is, then we have placed ourselves in the divine equation. Because the big power we have is to choose. The big power we have is to choose. So one person, as I said, you or me, plus that one infinite truth that God is all there is, equals the realization that if God is all there is, then you and I must be part of the all that is. You know, the realization of this and living from that epiphanal discovery and, wow, it really has taken root in my soul, doesn't happen in the blink of an eye. What I've discovered, it happens layer by layer. It's like an onion, right? We peel, we peel, we peel. And by the way, because it's an onion, there will be tears. There will be tears. As we begin to practice the discipline of intentionally saying, knowing, and desiring to remember that God is all there is, then our lives begin to open up. And they open up in ways that demonstrate and verify that truth. Because what happens is we begin to vibrate at the rate of God. We're traveling at the speed of God, at the speed of spirit. We begin to key into that energy of knowing that God is all there is, that this presence is never in absence, and that it absolutely enfolds and supports and is loving each of us into a greater celebration. And what we also want to remember is that God is not trying to control us in any level, in any way, but to fulfill us. That God is fulfilled by us having a great life. That's as deep as it needs to get. That if we are loving, then God's going, yep, I'm liking that. If we are joyful and caring about each other and having compassion, God's going, yep, that works. That's what we need to know. That it's not about performing in order to get the approval of a God that controls and has ego issues. That's not what this is about. So I think that the challenge for most of us is silencing the voices that have been in our heads for so much of our lives. And the voices are echoed around us. If you happen to spend any time, and I know no one does here, but if you happen to be one of those rare individuals who spends time on social media or on Facebook, there are a lot of voices that will tell you you're not good enough, that will tell you you need to be afraid, the struggle is real, God's going to punish you. The world is a cold, lonely place. That is the message that we're going to hear because there is so much expression and the ego is so loud. Hate is so loud. But if we can begin to let love be the louder voice, let love be the voice that we seek out and listen to, those voices begin to dissolve. They begin to diminish. You know, think about how it would be if all of those voices that we have in our head, perhaps we inherited them, perhaps we grew up in families that taught that, or it's just from being, around other people. But what if those voices were finally silenced by one loud, truly loving, dominant voice that said, God is all there is, all I am is God. God is all there is, all I am is God. So the master teacher, oh good, we're on a null slide. I like it when we go to the null slides. The master teacher, Jesus, taught that it is done unto us as we believe. So if we are only hearing and believing those voices of fear, of lack, of separation, guess what? That's what's done to us. It is done unto us as we believe. Now, this is an idea that goes through all wisdom teachings, all religions. And it is, in some, it might be taught as karma. We just teach it as cause and effect. It is that law of cause and effect. As we believe, it is done unto us. So Ernest Holmes wrote this beautiful, I was spending a lot of time with Ernest this weekend. And, he and I are like this, really. This is me over here most of the time, but I've been waiting years to use that joke. There is that within us which partakes of the nature of the divine being. And since it partakes of the nature of the divine being, we are divine. It reacts to us according to our belief in it. And it is an immutable law, subject to the use of the least among us, no respecter of persons. It cannot be bound. So this truth about who and what we are, it can't be stopped. It's going to do everything it can to get our attention. It will do everything it can to get our attention, to know a greater awareness of who we are, that there is something greater within us than there is out there. Our soul will never change or violate its own nature. All the denying of it will never change it. All the affirming of it will never make it any more than it is. But since it is what it is, and it works in the way it works, it appears to each through their belief. It is done unto each one of us as we believe. It is done unto each one of us as we believe. Next slide, please. Pema Chodron wrote this: you are the sky. Everything else, it's just the weather. It's just the weather. So if we think about that, we are that infinite, immutable space where love is. And everything that's going on is just stuff that's going on. It's very hard to think that we are that. But we are the sky. We are the place for that. We are the space for that. And the thing is, when we start to look at that idea, it's done unto us as we believe, there are things that start to happen. First, we start looking around our lives, and if we are really, really wanting to know what we have been believing, then we're going to start noticing stuff. Some of it works, but there might be a lot of it that we look at and say, wow, did I create that with my beliefs? Do I really believe that there isn't enough? Do I really believe that I'm not worthy? Do I really believe that other people get to have more than I do? Do I really believe, and the list will go on. And we have a lot of fascinating beliefs. A lot of them are superstitious. Most of them are probably superstitious. But what we get to know is we get to choose which one of those we want to attend to, or which ones will we just release and let go, simply by no longer paying attention to them, by no longer energizing them, by beginning to energize, to pay attention to the beliefs that we want. So, have you ever noticed that when you're feeling like you're not enough or you don't deserve something, someone comes along to verify that belief? I hate that. Or something takes place in your life that reinforces that belief. And so you start to think, well, how did this happen? Why is this happening? What's going on there? And our great gift is to go beyond that why question, that how did this happen question, and to go instead to what is the vision that I want to have going on in my life? What is the greater vision? Can we come up with an imaginal space, a greater vision? Perhaps a vision that is greater than whatever daily grind, some of us call it that, daily stuff might be. A vision beyond the election. Can we have a greater vision beyond the next 6 months? Can we have a greater vision beyond the next year? And the thing is, it's not enough just to have that vision, but to begin to ask those questions. What is my part in this? How do I live into that vision? How can I live in and as that vision now? How do I prepare for that? How do I become the space for that vision to really, really, truly show up? You know, it's easy to look out in the world and say, oh my God, over 20,000 children in this world starving every day. Oh, somebody should do something. That's a really convenient thing to do. Or, oh my God, over 20,000 people starving in the world every day. I need to do something. And I was listening to some of Marianne Williamson today, and she just cracks me up because she said, if you don't know what to do, Google it. And you're going to find thousands and thousands of possibilities and suggestions. You're also going to find thousands of groups that will support you in living into that vision of feeding children, of taking care of the elderly, of making sure that those people who are unhoused begin to be housed. So we can look at those things, those ideas and those visions and feel like we are impotent, or we can look at that power of choice that we have that goes beyond just looking and taking and sucking it all in, and we can say, you know what? I can actually live into this. I can be that change. I can begin to move into this vision. The moment we take full responsibility for our lives, for our thinking, our choices, and our experiences, everything changes. Full responsibility, not full guilt, not full remorse, not full regret, but full responsibility. So that means in every moment, what am I thinking here? What am I believing about this person? What am I believing about this situation? Am I believing that it's hopeless? That this person is wrong? Am I believing that we're separate? So when we choose and we just say, okay, I am ready. I intend now to be fully responsible for my life, for my thinking, for where I am. And what happens just with that is it elevates us to a higher vibration of causality. It is that level of creation, is the level of cause, where we're no longer being subject to the effects of other people's actions, of other people's stuff, of our own stuff. We are rising above that into a place of choosing to not just know a greater idea, but to be that channel for the greater idea. So when we take responsibility, we wake up. We wake up, and then we grow up. We grow up. And when that happens, we level up. We awake to greater possibility. So we grow up by taking responsibility for the habits of our thoughts. And how about this? The feeling tone of our lives. Are we walking around thinking, oh my God, oh geez, it's just awful, awful, awful. Okay, well there's a feeling tone that is going to create a lot of stuff that you probably don't want. Or are we waking up in the morning and saying, this is a brand new day. This is untried. It is a blank slate. I get to do what I want. I am choosing this day to know that I am inspired, enlivened. I am sourced and fully connected and inspired by the presence of God that created and sustained all life, planets in their orbits, the tides rising and falling, all of that. That is who and what I am. That's where we get to wake up. We level up, and we grow up by taking responsibility and making sure that we are changing it. And then we level up by choosing to be conscious. We choose to be conscious and to participate. We participate in the, it is done unto me as I believe idea. So if I'm not liking what I'm believing in, I better change that. So intentionally creating and sustaining beliefs about who we are as these creations of spirit, as divine expressions of God, no less, as sentient, divine, connected beings, living in and as that one presence and power that is God takes commitment. It takes commitment. Don't run screaming from the room. It takes commitment. It takes practice. It takes faith. It takes discipline. But the big thing that powers all of the rest of it, the decision to do it. Because once we make that decision, we are given everything else we need to do it. There's a whole line of thinking that says that the universe is conspiring for good. Conspiring for good, for you and for me, so that everything is conspiring to lift us up and to express through us in power and in possibility. So it's not a conspiracy of bad, it's a conspiracy of infinite good. That's a conspiracy that I will absolutely buy into. I will go for that. There are going to be times when you have to argue yourself out of the mindset that you inherited or the one that you've just been living in. But this is the thing. You and I, you are not a worm of the dust. You are not condemned. You are not judged. You are not unworthy. I love what Ernest Holmes wrote about this. When the psychological reaction of condemnation is done away with in the world, hell will have cooled off, the devil will be out of business, present-day evangelism will have been rolled up like a scroll and numbered with the things that were once thought to be real. We can put it all away. When we are thinking and moving from the truth of who we are, that radiant, magnificent awareness, we get to change, and the world gets to change. And Ernest says this. In fact, what I say is that choosing to do that, we become the place, we become like the womb where these ideas get to gestate. We are that cocoon where the imaginal possibilities are working together. It is that cauldron. So Ernest writes, something new and grand will have appeared. We are the forerunners of a new race of people. We are the arbiters of the fate of unborn generations. We are the custodians of the chalice of truth. But we are not hung on a cross. We have a song to sing. We have a joy to bring to the world, and love and peace and happiness. Next slide, please. The final goal of all religions is to realize the essential oneness. That was Gandhi. And Gandhi was the one who moved from love as just that personal thing between two people into something that could be absolutely used and expressed in order to heal the world, in order to change things, to solve problems, to bring it to governments, to whole communities, not just person to person. So what I want to say is, as of today, and here's some good spiritual math for you, we are 100 days out from the 2024 elections. We're 100 days out. The Atlanta Center for Spiritual Living has created an opportunity for us, all of us, to practice spiritual math of oneness in a very powerful and positive way. Let's go to the next slide. So we're calling, I skipped that one, didn't I? Okay, we'll keep going. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Next one after that. Okay, we go after that. Next one. There it is. It's fun when I'm confused, isn't it? We all get to be. All right. My election intention. My election intention. It is 100 days of mindful spiritual practice. It is our opportunity to tune out the fear and tune in the vision. This is a non-partisan, let's join together in that collective knowing that God is all there is, and that we are moved, inspired, and guided. We are united in the intention for wholeness. So today was the first day, and you can text to join. We have flyers out on the table, and they look like this. You can take a picture of this so you can see what the number is. But the first message went out today, and it's from a lot of different leaders. The first one that came out today was from Michael Bernard Beckwith. And the idea for today was this vision. Without a vision, the people perish. So we want to have a vision of wholeness for this country, a vision of peace, a vision where all children are loved and fed, a vision where we are connected, a vision where that truth of who and what we are is being demonstrated on every level for every being. And it starts with us beginning to know that greater truth. And so when we decide to tune out the fear and tune in the vision, we become the spaces for peace. So what we want to do is rise above the fear and the collective judgments about what's possible and who we are as a country. We want to rise above that. We want to rise above and to transcend all of it. And so the opportunity, the invitation is to join in this consciousness and this intention for peace and divine right action. And so on the flyer, and if you can't see it from where you are, you will text the word join to this phone number. And like I said, we have a flyer. The number is 470-784. This is for you at home, 0250. And if you just simply Google my election intention, then you will also get this information. And we're participating in it. Charlie and I are both participating in it. And it is just that way to start the day, because it is sent out at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the first thing is a phone message. If you don't answer the phone, that's okay. It will go to your voicemail. And you get to hear this 2-minute, wonderfully inspiring, centering message about moving into a higher awareness, a higher knowing of God, a higher knowing of truth. And so that you don't have to play in that field of fear. You don't have to play in that field of struggle. You don't have to play there. You get to rise up. You get to choose that. So I hope that you'll join me in whatever your high spiritual practice is, in order that we may all together, because that's 1 + 1 = the 1, that together as a community, we can make a big difference, and we can absolutely affect this beautiful planet. That's my commitment. My commitment is to know you and this world as God knows us. Pure, beautiful, perfect, whole, loved. Let's pray. Thank you. So we join together in a conscious recognition that 1 + 1 is not 2, is not separation. When 2 or more are gathered, that we are moving into that absolute clear knowing of oneness. The one mind, the one presence, the one power, the truth that resides at the center of our being. That right where I am, God is, Spirit is, love is, truth is, inspiration is. That we are the conduits because we have chosen to know ourselves as God knows us. That we are that expression, and we are willing, available expressions. So in that shared divinity, I speak my word now for each of us, knowing that there is a shift that is calling. There is a voice of love that is now seeking to be heard, that is louder than the voice of fear. There is a transcendence that is moving through each of us to rise above ground level thinking into the high and holy awareness that there is only the one power and presence, and that we are fully participating in it and as it. We say yes. We say yes to knowing ourselves finally as God knows us. We say yes to knowing ourselves as love knows us. We allow everything else to fall away, because truly love dissolves the fear. And that love sustains us. It blesses us. So I know that this church is also blessed by that. That we are blessed simply by being together. And when we move out into the world, we carry that awareness of being a blessing. And we touch everyone in our circle and everyone beyond that circle with the knowing of love, with the knowing of harmony, divine right action, with the knowing of spirit. So we bless this church. We bless all churches, all paths to God, all ashrams, all mosques, all temples, all synagogues. We know that light is shining, and we celebrate that we are part of that light. We call to mind anyone that we know in our lives or just on the planet that we are aware is in need of greater love, greater understanding, greater support, greater compassion. We say, yes, I am that I am, so I am there. And I am willing to be that which brings this vision of wholeness and love, of peace, to fruition. I live in the vision of God. How wonderful to know that, and I am grateful that we know that. So I simply release this word into the activity of the law of mind, knowing it is already so, and together we say, amen. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. So now is when we invite you to share your tithes, your gifts, your love offerings. And as the ushers come forward, know that you are blessed and know that we are grateful for all that you give us because we also share that. We tithe to this universe. So I invite you to say with me our blessing. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and to bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and belief. It does good work in the world, and it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. That I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Gia. Thank you to the band. Thank you to the digital ministry team. Thank you, everybody. That was beautiful. Thank you. I have announcements. It's all good. On your bulletin, you will see how to make donations to our church through our text-to-give number, through the QR code, or through our website, nhcrs.org/give. Prayer with the practitioner is available after service in the sanctuary and on Zoom. Every Sunday, 9:45 a.m., our junior church is open. If you have babies, kids, or teens, we have a place for all of them. Every Wednesday night, we offer a fabulous midweek service. It starts with meditation at 6:50 p.m. and moves into music, wisdom, and healing prayer at 7 p.m. And this week, Reverend Kevin Cottle's topic is, I love this, ethereal journey. Doesn't it just convey such a beautiful feeling? So please come join us. Our health and wellness ministry, this group, facilitated by our special guest speaker, Diane Vahuni, meets today, 1 p.m. in the junior church. You are in for a great experience. Be sure to join us and bring a loved one with you. The Prayer Shawl Ministry also meets today. This group, facilitated by practitioner Lisa Barish, meets today, the Ernest Holmes Room, 1 p.m. All are welcome. Also today, grief support on Zoom with practitioner Carol Winokur. This group meets today, 1 p.m. on Zoom, and the link for that is on our website. The Abundance Project with Dr. Sidney Lehman Steen. Yeah. Sign up online for this new 4-week class with Dr. Sidney. It's on Zoom, 6:30 to 8 p.m. for 4 Mondays, starting Monday, July 29th. The book for the class is The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity by Catherine Ponder. The book is available in our bookstore. It's $10 plus tax for all class enrollees. That's about half price. And the cost for the class is responsible giving. All right, calling all creative beings. Our creative arts ministry is holding an informational session and auditions on Sunday, August 11th, that's 2 weeks from today, 2 to 5 p.m. in the sanctuary for a staged reading of Steel Magnolias. Yeah. That'll be, the reading will be performed on Friday, September 20th. Please join us. We'd love to have you participate. If you have any questions, contact Mark Crowell at mcrowell@aol.com or on the patio. You'll see me around. Also, save the date. Friday, August 16th at 7 p.m., our Creative Arts Ministry is presenting, get this, Sound of Music sing-along in the sanctuary for the whole family. So it's a preview of what'll be at the Hollywood Bowl in September. And ours is a lot cheaper. The suggested donation is $10. There's refreshments on the patio after the show. I hear it'll be apple strudel. And a new announcement, starting next Sunday, August 4th, our beautiful new Mary Bullard Chapel, which is located in the Ernest Holmes Room, will be open for silent meditation in the mornings before the first service. So every Sunday from 9 a.m. until 9:20 a.m., you are invited into this sacred space in order to meditate in silence with others and in order to practice the presence of God. Zoom Virtual Patio is before and after Sunday and Wednesday services. Zoom Meditation meets every morning, Monday through Saturday, from 7:55 to 8:15 a.m. Visit our website, nhcrs.org, for Zoom links, information, and to sign up for weekly e-blasts and our monthly newsletters. That's it.
All right, thank you. I think we might have kids coming in. Come on in. Yay, come on. They're invisible children. Well, let's stand for the invocation. There we go. We have some teens. We've got some kids. Come on up. There we go. All right. And parents, if you see your kids and they look a little apprehensive, then feel free to join them up here. We invite you to do that. Oh, look at you are all so awesome. Oh, so beautiful. All right. So, invocation time. Oh, and practitioners, please come forward. I surround each soul here in a spiritual magic tube of electronic light protection that is impenetrable, invulnerable, and invincible. This is pure spirit. Nothing shall touch us but the direct action of God, and this is love. This is the truth. God knows it, I know it, and I know that I know it, and it is so. Let's sing.
1, 2, 3.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it be lit with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our Father, loved ones all are let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow to take each moment. Take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. All right, so repeat after me. I am at home in the heart of God. My life is anchored in truth. I can never be separate. I live in the consciousness of peace. I release all fear. I am living love. Have a blessed week. See you on the patio. I release all fear. I am living love. Have a blessed week. See you on the patio. I release all fear. I am living love. Have a blessed week. See you on the patio.